As someone who has tested numerous compact computing solutions, I approach the BOSGAME AG40 Mini PC with cautious optimism. This palm-sized device represents an interesting proposition in the budget-conscious mini PC market, particularly for users seeking basic computing capabilities in an ultra-portable form factor. Let me walk you through my comprehensive experience with this device over several weeks of testing. The first thing that stands out about the AG40 is its remarkably compact dimensions. Measuring just under 5 inches square and less than an inch thick, this mini PC practically disappears in any environment. I found it exceptionally easy to transport between home and office setups, often carrying it in my jacket pocket without any noticeable bulk. The matte black metal casing gives it a professional appearance that blends well in both casual and office environments, though I did notice it tends to show fingerprints more than I'd prefer. Setting up the device was straightforward for basic use. Out of the box, the Windows 11 installation process completed in under 15 minutes. However, more tech-savvy users should note that the pre-installed operating system comes with some caveats. Like several other reviewers, I opted to perform a clean Windows installation due to concerns about potential bloatware and security settings. While this process went smoothly overall, I encountered the same audio driver issue mentioned in multiple customer reviews. The solution required downloading drivers from a third-party blog post, which might be intimidating for less experienced users. Performance-wise, the Intel Celeron N 4020 processor handles basic tasks adequately. Web browsing with multiple tabs, up to 10 in Chrome, document editing in Office applications, and 1080p video streaming all worked without significant lag. The 4 GB of DDR4 RAM does become a limitation when attempting more demanding tasks. I noticed slight slowdowns when running a video conference call while simultaneously working on a spreadsheet and browsing the web. The 64 GB eMMC storage provides acceptable boot times, though users needing significant local storage should plan on using external drives or upgrading the internal storage. Speaking of upgrades, the AG40 offers some flexibility that's unusual in this price range. While opening the case requires careful handling, the accessible RAM slot and storage expansion options make it relatively future-proof for basic computing needs. I successfully upgraded to 8 GB RAM and added a 256 GB SATA SSD without encountering physical compatibility issues, though potential buyers should note this voids the warranty. Connectivity options are a strong point for this mini PC. The combination of HDMI and VGA ports allowed me to connect both modern and legacy displays simultaneously. During testing, I used it with a 1080p monitor and an older 720p projector without any configuration issues. The 3 USB 3.0 ports provided sufficient bandwidth for external storage devices and peripherals, though the single USB 2.0 port felt unnecessary in 2025. Wireless performance proved reliable for everyday use. The Wi-Fi 5 connection maintained stable speeds up to 300 megabits per second in my testing environment, suitable for 4K streaming on platforms like Netflix and YouTube. Bluetooth 5.0 pairing worked seamlessly with wireless keyboards, mice, and headphones, though I did experience occasional latency when using Bluetooth audio during CPU-intensive tasks. The fanless design deserves special mention. In silent environments like home offices or libraries, the complete absence of moving parts creates a genuinely distraction-free experience. However, this passive cooling approach does have trade-offs. During extended video conferencing sessions, Zoom calls lasting 2+ hours, the chassis became warm to the touch, though never reached concerning temperatures. The AG40's energy efficiency is another standout feature. With maximum power consumption capped at 6 watts, it uses about 10% of the power required by my standard desktop setup. Over a week of typical use, 6 hours daily, it added less than 50 cents to my electricity bill compared to $1.34 for a traditional PC. For users conscious about energy costs or environmental impact, this could be a significant advantage. Where the device struggles is in sustained performance scenarios. Attempting to use it as a Plex media server resulted in buffering issues with 4K content, though 1080p streaming to 2 devices worked acceptably. Gaming performance is strictly limited to lightweight titles and retro emulation. I successfully ran games up to PlayStation 2 era using Batocera Linux, but modern titles like Fortnite proved completely unplayable. The integrated Intel UHD Graphics 600 simply lacks the horsepower for serious gaming. business users should appreciate the device's reliability in controlled environments. I conducted a 72-hour continuous operation test without any crashes or performance degradation, making it suitable for digital signage or basic kiosk implementations. The LAN wake-up function worked as advertised, though the lack of dual LAN ports limits its utility as a network appliance. From a software perspective, the AG40 shines when repurposed with lightweight operating systems. After experimenting with both Windows 11 and Linux distributions, I found Ubuntu and Batokura, for retro gaming, provided noticeably snappier performance than the Windows environment. However, less technical users should be aware that driver support for Linux requires some configuration. Build quality exceeds expectations for the price point. The metal chassis feels sturdy and all ports maintain tight connections even with frequent cable swaps. I subjected the device to mild stress testing, repeatedly connecting, disconnecting peripherals, transporting it in a packed backpack, over 2 weeks with no physical issues emerging. The included Visa mount adds installation flexibility, though the mounting